Islamism. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rahmanir rahim. Ever seeking refuge from the accursed Satan in the name of Allah, and rise give all praises to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the worlds, most gracious, most merciful, the causeless cause and rootless root from whom all life comes, to whom all life returns. Allah, Al-Ahad, the One. Arise, give honor to all the true and divine prophets from all times and climes, those who are known to us as well as those unknown to us, and our messengers of nationality, birthright, divine creed, in this time, at this day and time, our warner and redeemer, Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Honors to my brother and sister Adams, my brother and sister deputy officers, members, card-carrying, non-card-carrying, all our families join us for our National Holy Night Call, sponsored by Moorish Science Temple, Divine National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic. This, the 5th of February, 2021, Gregorian calendar. Welcome. At this time, all who are able, please rise and stand erect facing the east, heels together, toes separated at a 45-degree angle, up arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular thereto, with 5 fingers erected together on the left hand, 2 fingers erected together on the right hand, for our Moorish American prayer. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Jew Ali. Ameen. Islam. The crescent and star of salvation, the all-seeing eye of Allah, the handpress of unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on the Friday, the first man was formed in flesh. On the Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Moslems all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all. They may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. Please mute your phones, Morris. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live a life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865, during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah, Alhamdulillah. At this point, I bring to the floor our brother, Deputy Sheikh Makal Mashir Bey, for the reading of our additional laws. Islam, Brother Deputy Sheikh, please, star, unmute your phone. The floor awaits you. Islam. Alhamdulillah. Deputy Sheikh may not be with us at this particular moment, so we'll proceed with that reading nonetheless. All right. I don't want to go from memory, and I can't find my additional laws. So anyone who has the additional laws, I need you to step forward to read the additional laws for us at this time. Islam, if not, I'm going to have to wing it from memory. Islam, beloved, how are you?
Islam, doing well. How about you?
I'm blessed, beloved. Blessed. Good to hear your voice. With whom am I speaking?
This is Deputy Sheikh Carolyn Youngbay calling out of North Carolina Republic.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh Youngbay, how are you? Good to hear your voice. Yours.
You as well, sir. You as well. Good to hear you as well.
Thank you, beloved.
Islam, I will be reading the Quran, the questionnaire for additional laws for Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. But first, I rise giving all perfect praise to Allah, to all of his divine prophets, Moses, Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Prophet Noble Jew Ali, first, second, and third form. I remain standing, giving all honors to all national officials, to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bey, to our sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikhs, deputy sheikesses, brothers and sisters, and to everyone on the call. I greet you all with Islam. Again, we'll be reading the questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses, each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali before acting upon by any members, let it be finance property or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates those laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their ADAP meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first cause, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation, and if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to law, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. This concludes the reading of our additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam?
Islam, Deputy Young Day. Shukran. Thank you a lot. Jazakallah Karoom. A good reward from Allah. Beloved, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, beloved. All right, Moors. Well, again, we welcome you to our National Holy Night Call, sponsored by the Moorish Science Temple, Divine International Movement North America, Code number 13, Moorish American National Republic. I am your brother, Sheikh Amir Abdul-Rahim, also called Sheikh Jeremiah Eel. I minister with you this evening, giving thanks and praises to Allah for being able to be here with you this evening on another Sabbath evening. So I'm saying, blessed holy night, Jummah Mubarak, Shabbat Shalom to all. At this time, we have our check-in. We certainly know that Deputy Chief Young Day is on the line, and I am on the line, but we're interested in knowing who else is on the line. Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. All is well?
All is well, brother. How are you, man?
All is truly well. Good to hear your vibration in this holy creation.
Islam, equally so. Islam.
And the Islam family, this is your brother, Mainstream Gray Bay 44, called Monitor, calling out of Massachusetts Commonwealth. Just like to say happy holy day, holy night to all the Muslims around the world and all the Muslims on the call. Greet you all with Islam and peace.
Islam. Islam, bro. Islam.
Happy holy
Yeah, blessed holy day, beloved. Thank you. How are you?
Love, peace, freedom, and justice. On my door, but guide and without patience. On my other day, you are truly for me. Hello. It's now
Islam and peace, Sister Amara Sanders Bay. Thank you, beloved, for joining us this evening. I don't know what we'd do without you. Welcome. Islam, Morris. Give us your name. Tell us from where you're calling. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, beloved.
Islam, divine minister, all is well.
All is well, Sister Eel. I believe this is Sister Eel. How are you?
Islam, I'm doing well, thank you.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Islam family, this is Sister Carla Green Eel from the Massachusetts Commonwealth. Happy holy day, happy holy night to all the Moors on the call and all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom, Islam, and peace.
Islam. Thank you, Sister Carla Green Eel, for being with us this evening. Shabbat Shalom. Islam, Morris. Islam.
Brother Edwin Georgia, saying happy holy night out of Quebec Republic. Happy holy night to all Moors on call tonight and all Moors around the world. Happy holy night. Islam.
Islam. Happy holy night. Welcome to the George Hill. Thank you for being with us. Islam, Morris. Don't be shy.
Islam.
Islam. Islam, I did hear sister, yes?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead, sister.
Islam. This is Crystal Kinchin calling out of the Louisiana Republic. Wishing everyone a happy holy day, holy night, to all the Muslims around the world and on the call, and not on the call. Islam and peace and Shabbat Shalom.
Islam, Sister Crystal Kenton, thank you for joining us, beloved. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Islam.
And I heard it.
Islam.
I'll yield.
All right.
Islam. My name is beneficent Ray. I'm 8 years old, calling from the Republic. Happy holy day, happy holy night, Islam and peace.
Brother Christian Amada Bay, welcome, more. Glad to hear your young voice. Thank you for joining us, more. Islam.
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 Islam, divine minister, brother Justin Levi, Louisiana Republic, and the family. Just saying happy holy night, Shabbat Shalom, peace and love. Islam.
Islam, Levi Hill family, welcome, Morris. I'm glad to have you with Shabbat Shalom. Give him thanks.
Islam. Islam.
Islam, Islam, beloved.
Yes, Islam. Islam divine minister. This is Sister Culverhouse out of the New York Republic. Just calling in to say happy holy night and Shabbat Shalom. Islam.
Sister Culverhouse. Glad to hear your voice.
Islam, Sheikh.
Islam, more. How you doing?
All is truly well, and yourself?
Blessed, ever blessed. Give thanks and praises.
Blessed by the best.
And that's no mess. Go ahead, Mo.
Brother Michael Simpson-Neal Jr., Simpson-Neal family, checking in. Just want to say happy holy night to all the Moors on the call and to all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom. Islam?
Islam, Brother Simpson-Neal family, welcome. Blessed to hear your voices every time. Thank you, Mo. Islam, floor is open, beloveds.
Islam.
Islam.
See.
Islam.
This brother Harris Bay calling out of North Carolina, and I want to wish everybody a happy holy day and a happy holy night. Islam.
Islam, Brother Bay. What was the first? Was it Harrington Bay?
Harris Bay.
Harris Bay. Islam, Brother Harris Bay. Welcome. Blessed to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, beloved.
Islam divine minister. All is well.
All is well, divine one. All is well. And yourself?
All is well. This is Sister Shelley Wade Bay calling from the South Carolina Republic, calling to say happy holy night to all of the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom, Islam, and peace.
Islam is the way day. Always good to hear your voice, have you in the congregation. Welcome. Thank you. Floor is open, Morris.
Islam.
Two of them. Islam.
I yield.
All right. Thank you, Moore.
Islam Sheikh, trust and all is well.
All is well, brother. Man, all is well. Yourself?
All is well, Sheikh. This is Brother Cook Bay Deputy Sheikh, calling out of Florida Republic. Wishing all Muslims across the world, four corners, east, west, north, and south, a blessed holy day, holy night. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Brother Cook Bay and family. Peace and love to Divine Minister. Glad to hear your energy and your light as well.
Thank you, Brother Tipsy Cook Bay, and glad to hear you and the family online. Give thanks. Someone yielded to Islam? Floor is open. Islam. Please mute your phone if you're not
Islam,
speaking.
Divine Minister.
Islam, beloved. How are you, bro?
All is well. All is well with you.
Yes, Brother Eel. I think it's Brother Eel, yes.
Islam. Brother Joe Everett Hampton Neal out of the Washington State Republic and family. Wishing all the Moors on the call, all the Moors around the world, happy holy day, happy holy night. Shabbat shalom, Moors, Islam.
Islam, Hampton Neal family, welcome. We're glad to have you with us. All praises due to Allah. We meet again. Floor is still open, Moors. Islam?
Islam.
Hey, we have two.
Islam, Sheikh, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, brother. I hear you well, Brother Bay.
Islam, Sheikh, trusting all is well with you on that side of the water.
All is divinely well, giving thanks and praises. Yes.
Always a pleasure to hear your vibrations on this blessed holy night.
Hey, brother, you just trying to make a brother blush. Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
This is Brother Cornelius Sanders Bay, calling out of Lake County, Florida Republic. Just like to wish all the Moslems all around the world a happy holy day. All the Moors on the call wish you a blessed, happy holy day. Juma Mubarak, Shabbat Shalom. Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Sanders Bay. Welcome, Mo. You and the family. Good thanks. Islam, Moors, the floor is still open. Don't be shy. Identify yourself. Tell us from where you're calling.
Islam.
It's Brother Patrick Gore-Eel calling out of the South Carolina Republic. I'd like to wish all the Moors on the call happy holy night. And with that, I end Islam.
Islam, Brother Gore-Eel, welcome. Mo, good to hear your voice this Friday evening. Pray you and the sister are well.
Islam, Minister.
Thank you, Brother Gore-Eel. Islam, Mo.
Islam, all is well with you, good brother?
Hey, ever blessed, brother. We still here breathing. All praises due to Allah.
All praises due to Allah. It's always good to hear your voice, your vibrations, and the frequencies are always high when you're with us.
All right. Thank you, Brother Eel. Go ahead.
Islam, my brother. I'd like to say to all my brothers and sisters, happy holy day, happy holy night. To all the Muslims and Moslems all over the world, I wish you all Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, and peace. Islam. I yield the floor back to the moderator.
Hey, thank you, Brother Hearns, for calling from the Washington State Republic. Good thanks. Appreciate you all. Islam, sister.
Islam, Divine Minister.
How are you?
I'm well. I'd like to wish everyone a happy holy 24. Islam and peace.
Islam. Welcome, Sheikh. It's always a blessing to have you join our call. All praises due to Allah. Floor is still open for us.
Islam, Divine Minister. Islam, Sheikh, where am I? I like to wish all the Muslims and Muslims around the world happy holy day and happy holy night. And it's good to hear your vibrations.
So, thank you, Sheikh. Equally so, Mo. Equally so, always giving thanks. Bob Moores, the floor is open. Don't be shy. We're all family here.
Islam, Sheikh.
Islam, but you got
Yes. Islam. Was somebody else on?
Islam.
no, right. Oh,
Okay,
yes,
I yield.
Islam.
Yeah. Okay, Islam.
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 This is Cynthia Ridgeway calling from the Republic of New York. I'd like to wish everyone a happy holy day and a happy holy night. To all the Moors on the call and not on the call. Islam and peace.
Islam. Cynthia Ridgeway, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Sister Cynthia Ridgeway, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Glad to hear your voice.
Peace.
Yes, Islam. I think she got ready.
Islam, there, Sheikh. All is well, beloved.
All is divinely well, divine one, yes, and yourself.
All is truly well. Everything is in divine order, indeed. So appreciate you, beloved. Islam Moors, this is your good brother, Sheikh Oren Bey and family, Sister Maria Lee May Bey. Giving love in Islam to our brothers and sisters on the call with us tonight. Those that are present, those who may not be present, definitely sending our love vibration to the family on this holy day. Shabbat Alom, Shabbat Alaikum, Jumar Mubarak, much love and honors in all the universal languages and graces of peace. Islam, appreciate you again, Sheikh, and again, get to hear your vibrations. Islam.
Thank you, Sheikh. So to be with you all. It's Islam. Thank you. Lord, with the Moors. Star, and we shall identify you. Tell us where you're calling. Islam?
Islam?
Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. This is Brother Demetrius Williams-Hill. All is well tonight?
Hey, all is well, Brother Demetrius. Always good to hear your voice, more. Are you well?
I am well. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you. I just want to let everybody know that it's Friday, Holy Night, and I'm wishing all the Moors on the call, all the Moor Biases, a beautiful Holy Night, and peace and love wherever you may be. Islam.
Thank you, Brother. Islam. Thank you, Brother Williams. I appreciate you more for your greeting. Floor is still open more. We'd like to welcome everyone who's on the call. If you're willing to identify, we wish to acknowledge your presence. All right.
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, great day, 42.
We have 37 participants on the call. Islam?
Islam. All right. Well, we always have some who don't.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Sheikh.
Islam, boy.
Great. It's good to hear your vibrations and pick up love off of your vibrations today, in this holy day.
Thank you, Mo. I think you know just trying to keep brother blushing on this side. I appreciate you, Mo. Good to hear you as well.
All is well, Sheikh.
All is well. Go ahead, Mo.
This is Koran of The calling out of Fairmont, West Virginia, Moorish area. Like to wish all the Mo's and the Mobites on the call happy holy day. All the Muslims all over the world. Happy holy day as well. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Islam is peace.
Islam, Brother Koran of The, welcome. Good to hear your voice. Always blessed to have your presence. Islam, boys. Did someone yield?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you doing over there, niece? I make some more.
Oh, divinely blessed. Divinely blessed. Divinely blessed. Glad to hear you with us. And yourself.
Peaceful more. Give thanks. Give thanks. The Sheikh Mikhail Mashir Bey. Greeting all with love in Islam. Wishing all a happy holy creation day. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Holy Emmanuel. Greetings.
Islam, Brother Devin. Thank you for joining us. Always good to have your presence. Islam, was anyone else wish to check in at this time? It's fine. It's fine. If not, it's fine. Islam, beloved.
Islam, all is well, Divine Minister.
All is well, Sister Bay. How are you?
All is well. Sister Tamika Brady Bay, calling out the Georgia Republic. Wishing all the Moors on the call peace and more love. Shabbat Shalom. And happy Holy Day, Moors. Islam.
Thank you, Sister Brady Bay, for joining us this week. Welcome to the call. Islam. It's still good, Moors. Anyone else wishing to check in? Star music call.
Huh?
Islam.
Islam family. This is Brother Edward Walker Bay out of Washington State Republic. Just wanted to say a happy holy night to the family. Islam.
Islam, Brother Walker Bay. Welcome. Glad to have you with us, Mo. Alhamdulillah. All praises due. Islam, Moors. Don't have to be shy. We're all family. But it is not required. So if you don't want to, for whatever reason, it is fine. And if that's the case, we will move on. We have quite a few members with us this evening. Praise Allah for each of you who have taken the time to join us on this Friday evening. Friday night fish fry, you're out here in the Friday night, holy night call. So you're divinely blessed for being here. At this time in our call, we always do that which we call our Shabbat Unity Prayer. Islam. Islam, sister. All right. If we have any challenge coming through, you're welcome to come back.
Islam.
Islam. Oh, I'm hearing the Islam, beloved.
I think it's a bad connection, Divine Minister.
All right. Well, sister, we're going to do our Shabbat Unity Prayer and have another check right after. So hold on, and hopefully your connection will be better. Sometimes Islam. All right.
This is Nadej Joseph from Quebec Republic, calling.
I think it's Sister Nadez Joseph from Quebec Republic, if I heard that right. Is that correct?
I think she's trying to call back in, Divine Minister.
Yeah, that's the best thing sometimes when we get that bad line, disconnect and reconnect, and we get the energy straight for some reason. So we give her a minute to call back.
She's back on. She just didn't unmute her line.
All right, unmute your line, sister. Star, mute your line. And let's try it again. Give it another effort. All right. I think it was Sister Nadez Joseph. I think that's who I heard from Quebec Republic. But we will open the line again after our Shabbat Unity Prayer. So, Sister Joseph, if that is you, hold on, and we'll open the line again right after our prayer. Islam. We have our Shabbat Unity Prayer coming up, and Brother George, I'm going to ask if you're prepared to read our prayer for us. Our Shabbat Unity Prayer is a prayer that we put together especially for Friday evenings. As you know, it says Shabbat Unity Prayer. And it's a prayer that we ask our members and those who attend our Holy Night conference call to read. If you like a copy and you know more who has the copy, get it from them. If not, you can send an email to Divine Ministry, that's with a Y, at Moorish American National Republic.com and request, and we'll get a copy out to you. So it is a prayer we ask everyone to read on Friday evenings on your own. Not just wait for this call, but on your own. We're going to, I'll say, a half hour after sunset, and for those who are making the prayers after the Maghrib prayer. And it will send it up every Friday, and these blessings will come down. So, Islam, Brother Georgie, are you available to read our unity prayer?
Islam, divine unity.
Islam, Brother Georgie, thank you for stepping forward. The floor is yours.
Islam, most praise Allah. I am Brother Edwin Georgie, calling out of Quebec Republic, following the Prophet Noble Ali to a destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown. We are fortified by the impregnable doctrine, built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam, rising to my highest height, giving all honor and perfect praise to our Mother, Father, God, Allah, Father of the universe, and to all divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, and in these last days and time, our divine and honorable prophet, Noble Ali, in the first, second, and third form. I give honors to all our ancestors, known and unknown. I give honors to our national Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bey. I extend my honors to all Sheikh, Sheikesses, Deputy Sheikh, Deputy Sheikesses, family, friends, visitors. Happy holy night to you all. Islam. Bringing in during the Sabbath. Bismillah. In the name of Allah. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. O Most High, Thou the creators of all there is, Thou the all of life, the omnipotent, the all providing, the all of love. We come to Thee this Sabbath Eve, grateful for Your imbuing us with the radiant substance of health these 7 days past, endowing us with the vibrant presence in all areas of our living. We thank Thee for the blessings, divine substance of wealth flowing into our lives these 7 days past, filling our lives with abundance and greatness. We thank You for all these blessings, and we bless Thy name and worship Thee and Thee alone. We bless the creation past and pray Thou wilt find our deeds, our work, our service to Thee approving in Thy sight. By Your grace, we love Thee, we love Thee, we love Thee, O Most High. We bless the creation, yet manifesting, thanking Thee for the breath of life and the radiant substance of health permeating our being, endowing us with the vibrant presence in all areas of our lives. Ever praying that our deeds, our work, our service to Thee in this creation will be found approving in Thy sight. Inshallah. We thank Thee for the flow of the divine substance of wealth, this creation, filling our lives with abundance and greatness. We thank You. Truly without Thee, the all-providing, we are lost. And with Thee, the omnipotent, the victory is ever ours. We thank You for Your indwelling spirit, speaking and directing us to our best and highest good. May we ever hear Your voice, heed Your words, and manifest Your will. May our hearts ever know Thy presence, our mind overflow with Thy thoughts, our eyes see Thy divinity, our mouth speak Thy words, our hands accomplish Thy work, our feet walk Thy path. We thank you for the wisdom to know thy will, the fortitude to manifest thy will, the perseverance to persist in thy way until thy will be done. We love and thank you, Divine One. We love and thank you for every opportunity to serve thee, to accomplish thy will be done. May thy indwelling spirit guide and protect us this creation as we build and manifest thy divine estate in the living now. Giving thanks and praises to thee and thee alone. We love thee. We love thee. We love thee, O Most High. Amen. Ashe. Amunra. Shila. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Islam Divine Minister, this is the conclusion of the Holy Night Prayer. I now return the floor to you. Islam and peace.
Shukran, Brother Joe. Thank you so much for that heartfelt read of our unity prayer, giving thanks and praises. All right, Moors, at this time, before we move forward, I open the floor again to those who will join us to identify yourself and tell us where you're calling. Islam. Star and each phone.
Islam.
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 Islam, beloved.
This is Sister E. Marie Lee Bay, checking in, calling out of the Arizona Republic. Just like to say Islam. Happy Holy Day to everyone on the call.
Islam, Sister Lee Bay. Welcome, beloved. Always a blessing to hear your voice, hear you amongst the number. We give thanks and praises. Anyone else joining us at this point before we begin our read this evening?
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Brother A.D. Winbush Bay, Detroit, Michigan. I'd like to say Islam to all the Moors out there. Praise Allah. Honor to beloved Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to you, all Moors.
Islam, Brother Winbush Bay, welcome. Thank you for being with us. Islam.
Yes, this is Cynthia Culverhouse calling out of New York Republic. Just wanted to say Islam and Happy Holy Day.
Islam, Sister Culverhouse, welcome. Thank you, beloved. Islam, anyone else joining us at this time? All praises due to Allah. We may check in again. At this time, we're going to go into our chapter. My count is right. We're on chapter 46 this evening. We did chapter 45 last Friday, and I should say that, of course, I'm looking for someone to read our chapter for us this evening. Our chapters, we're in the last segment of our Circle 7, Moors, so we have, at this point, with this evening's read, we have 3 chapters, 46, 47, 48, with 45 last Friday. These 4 chapters comprise what I call, could be called, or what I do call, our Moorish genealogy or our Moorish story segment of the Circle 7. And these chapters are the Noble Prophet's instructions and lessons covering the realm of national and international knowledge, including the origins and genealogy of the various Asiatic families found around the globe, Christianity's beginning and purpose, the birthright and divine creed of the Moors, and last warnings. Please note that these chapters are the only 4 chapters of our Circle 7 written by the hand of Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself. Hence, they have a significance beyond words and should be, and we must study them repeatedly to receive the maximum benefit and comprehension for maximum success in our learning and applying these lessons. So our lesson this evening is chapter 46, the beginning of Christianity, looking for a reader for our chapter. Islam.
Islam. This is Sister Carla Green Ill from the Massachusetts Commonwealth. I rise to my highest heights and give all perfect praise to the Mother, Father, God of the universe, Allah. I give honor to our ancestors, known and unknown, recognizing and naming all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Allah, in his first, second, and third form. Extending honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bey, all national and local officials, all sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikhs, deputy sheikesses, all of our children, students, members, guests, citizens, everyone on the call tonight. I greet you all with Islam. I will proceed with the reading, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 46, the beginning of Christianity. The foundation of Christianity began in Rome. The Roman nations founded the first church, of whom crucified Jesus of Nazareth for seeking to redeem his people from under the Roman yoke and law. Jesus himself was of the true blood of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites and the inhabitants of Africa. Seeking to redeem his people in those days from the pressure of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, Rome crucified him according to their law. Then Europe had peace for a long time, until Muhammad I came upon the scene and fulfilled the works of Jesus of Nazareth. The holy teachings of Jesus was to the common people, to redeem them from under the great pressure of the hands of the unjust. That was the rulers and the rich. That the rulers and the rich would not oppress the poor. Also, that the lion and the lamb may lay down together and neither would be harmed when morning came. These teachings were not accepted by the rulers, neither by the rich, because they loved the principles of the Ten Commandments. Through the Ten Commandments, the rulers and the rich live, while the poor suffer and die. The lamb is the poor people. The lion is the rulers and the rich, and through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, all men are one and equal to seek their own destiny and to worship under their own vine and fig tree after the principles of the holy and divine laws of their forefathers. All nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace, but there is but one true and divine way that peace may be obtained in these days, and it is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice being taught universally to all nations in all lands. That concludes the reading of chapter 46. I return the floor to the moderator, Islam and peace.
Islam, Sister Carla Greenhill, thank you for that read. Well paced and well done. Thank you so much. Well, Moors, chapter 46, the beginning of Christianity. This chapter opens with a candid statement of the foundation of Christianity beginning in Rome. We are also told, quote, the Roman nations, end quote, not Rome, quote, founded the first church of whom crucified Jesus, end quote. To better comprehend this point, we are wise to remember that Rome is the seat of government or power of an empire. Empire is constituted by the possession and governing of lands outside the geographic borders of the seat of power. Therefore, the term Roman nations refers to those people of the Holy Lands then under Rome's jurisdiction and not Rome itself. The reason given for his crucifixion was seeking to redeem his people from under the Roman yoke and law. Taking all the above into account, the phrase, and I quote, the first church, end quote, can only refer to the Pharisees and the Sadducees in conjunct with Herod, Rome's Hebrew agent, and his Hebrew troops, who in this instant carried to its fulfillment the Roman ritual, not the Hebrew ritual, the Roman ritual of crucifixion. Hence, it was the Roman nations who founded the first church, setting the foundation for Christianity's genesis under Rome, that is, under Roman rule and jurisdiction. Know for a fact, death by crucifixion is not Hebraic law. We Hebrews, do not crucify. So in their haste to rid themselves of Allah's messenger, said Pharisees and Sadducees, not content with killing Isa, alayhi salam, in accord with Hebrew law, devised a plan by which Roman law would be used to accomplish their end, thusly manifesting the model for what has become the central theme of Christian doctrine, that is, the blood sacrifice of an innocent for the redemption of the masses. In this connection, let's take a look at chapter 16 of our Circle 7, which, in calling the Hebrews superstitious for having incorporated in their being the way of the errant, lays out the scenario of the moment. So that what we're looking at now is the fact that this chapter, we're in 46, makes mention of something that is better explained in chapter 16. The activation of this errant additive additive, by the Pharisees and Sadducees became the foundational doctrine of Roman Christianity. Having their favor bought, the masses willingly and willfully proclaimed themselves subjects of Rome. This is chapter 16, verses 16 and 17. As Pilate denied the Hebrews the use of Roman soldiers to take innocent life in verse 18. Now, still in chapter 16, verses 19 to 26, the high priest Caiaphas acknowledges the Hebrews' inability to crucify as it is not our law. So stoning was decreed and the process begun when the guards of Herod, Hebrews, pledged to uphold, maintain, and preserve Rome's iron hand oppression. Do we not see that today? Arrived, and who, with the mob calling for crucifixion, received from the high priests and rulers consent to proceed with this non-Hebrew form of execution. So, returning to our current chapter, chapter 46, we find this disposing of a rabble-rouser to be the basis for the foundation of Christianity, i.e. the sacrifice of one for the sins of many, beginning in Rome as well as the Roman nations founding the first church of whom crucified Jesus. You can see this first church is composed of those Pharisees and Sadducees in cahoots with Rome's agents, as there was no church as we know church. And you look up that etymology of that word for yourself. There was no church worshiping Yashua, Isa, Jesus at the time of the crucifixion. Again, Hebrew troops acting as Roman agents at the request and with the consent of the Hebrew priests, elders, and leaders, with the Hebrew mob demanding the blood of the Hebrew prophet, the innocent Hebrew prophet, carry out the Roman crucifixion of that Hebrew prophet, the very act being the foundation for Roman Christian doctrine. This chapter, the beginning of Christianity. Verses 2 and 3 tell us that Yashua's genealogy be true blood of three sources: Canaanites, Boaz, Moabites, Ruth, and the inhabitants of Africa, chapter 47. And his assigned mission was to redeem his people from under the pressure of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, as Rome, that is Herod, who was Rome's agent, carried out Yeshua's crucifixion. Subsequently, verse 4, all was peaceful in Europe from 29 AD until 563 AD, more than 500 years, when Islam was revealed through Rasulullah, peace be upon him, manifested in force to fulfill Yeshua's works, giving the people the tools by which they may deliver themselves from under the hands of the unjust. The teaching assures that all would be well taken care of and comfortable, daily living in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Verse 5, as illustrated through the metaphor of the lion and the lamb. Verses 6 and 7 explain the rejection of these lessons by the rulers and the rich, showing us why, to this day, those in power use the Ten Commandments as a tool to maintain power, that is, pressure on and oppression of the masses. Verse 8 fully expounds upon the metaphor of the lion and the lamb and the confirmation that living our divine principles will always manifest the divine order of our destiny and our rights as passed on to us by our forefathers. In closing this chapter, our messenger speaks to the peace sought by all, the common people, yet never achieved, deliberately thwarted by the rulers and the rich. Again, clarifying the, quote, one true and divine way that peace may be obtained, end quote. That is, the universal teaching, living of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This particular chapter relates to the 50 other keys, but particularly keys 28 and keys 81. We do have some biblical references that relate to this chapter for those who would like them. Matthew 27, verses 1 through 5, reference to Judas, 19 through 26, reference to the choice. Mark 15, 1 through 5, which comes in conjunction with Surah 4, ayat 157. So Mark 15, 1 through 15, and Surah 4, ayat 157. Also Luke 23, verses 1 through 25, John chapter 18, verses 28 through 40, and John chapter 19, verses 1 through 16. Part of our discussion is we get into our discussion this evening. Why is it that the fallen sons and daughters need to learn to love? And how have we come to learn to hate? And what remedy can we provide ourselves to this condition? Islam, Moors, the floor is open for exercising your five senses on this chapter. Please don't be shy. Star, mute your phone. Let us share Islam, the beginning of Christianity. Don't be shy, Moors. This is your time. Small chapter, 8 verses, but as you just heard, a lot of reference, a lot of information. The beginning of Christianity. Star, mute your phone, Moors. Don't be shy. Islam.
Brother Patrick Gore, EO, calling out of South Carolina Republic. I'd like to rise to my highest heights, giving all perfect praise to Allah, Mother, Father, God of the universe, recognizing all true and divine prophets, namely Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, excuse me, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Drew Ali, in the first, second, and third form. I'd like to remain standing and extend honors and give honor to the ancestors known and unknown, extending those honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joe Bratton Bey, all sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, and Moors on this call. I greet you all with Islam. Contemplating the reading and looking in the chapter, the foundation of Christianity began in Rome, the seat of Rome, but Jesus was crucified outside the seat of Rome. Is that the correct? That will be my understanding of it. So the people were turned. The people were turned away from the Hebrew laws and adopted the laws of Christianity or the ideology of Christianity, and indoctrinated the people to be a part of that ideology. From my reading, and I put that out in my demonstration to hear your explanation of the Islam.
Yes, Brother Goriel, thank you for starting our conversation. And yes, that's correct. Rome is the center of power, and of course, part of the Roman Empire. Palestine, as we know, was part of the Roman Empire. So they were under that Roman jurisdiction. So yes, thank you for sharing this, Moore. You understand it well. Giving thanks. Floor is still open, Morris. You know, the interesting part is that, yes, that's why we refer, the chapter actually refers back to chapter 16, because in that chapter it starts off as superstitious people are the Jews, and it speaks about and it says the Jews, but the Hebrews at that time, taking on someone else's ways of the heathen. And that way was that someone once a year would be run into exile as a symbol of them getting rid of their sins. They would put this person, run them out of the country. And so usually it was someone, in this particular case, the one known as Barabbas, bought his way out, and the one known as Jesus was exchanged or sacrificed. Barabbas was a murderer, a thief, a rapist. He had committed most of the crimes against humanity that you could imagine. But yet he bought his way out of that particular situation, and Jesus was put in his place. The one called Jesus was put in his place and made the sacrifice. So that was the root of this sacrificing one for the many. And then it translated into chapter 46, 16, where he talks about the stoning and the crucifixion. The floor is still open, Morris. Islam. Thank you, Brother Goria, for starting us off.
Islam?
Islam, my brother.
Islam there, Sheik. Brother Michael Simpson Hill Jr., calling out of Wayne County, Michigan Republic. First, I'd like to rise to my highest height, giving all perfect praise to our Mother, Father, God, Allah, to all our ancestors, spoken and unspoken, naming and honoring all true divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and our last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, our great Redeemer, Noble Drew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. I also like to extend those honors to our headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, Temple number 13, our National Grand Sheik, Joe Bratton Bay, to all our national officials, sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheiks, and deputy sheikesses, and to all the Moors on the call tonight, and to our illustrious future, our children, I greet you all with Islam. So, a beautiful chapter. It's kind of fitting that we're on this chapter tonight, and we all know that Christianity didn't exist until 300 years after Yashua the Nazarene was crucified. And I say we say the Nazarene because the Council of Nice or the Council of Nicaea had a split, and the high priest Aries, he had a problem with them taking Jesus out of the context of being a prophet. So that's where the split came from. So they made up the character Jesus Christ, and as Sheik stated, talking about Serapis. And if we look at all the walls of churches and cathedrals, we see the pale skinned, blue-eyed blind man on the wall. And we know that's not Yashua from the Nazarene, because in Revelations it tells you that he has hair made of wool and skin made of brass. So he definitely don't look like the man that's portrayed on the walls in cathedrals, because imagery is very powerful. And if you look at your God, if that's the image of your God, then subconsciously that's what you would gravitate toward. And the good brother Marcus Garvey always used to say, your God's supposed to look like you. So it also tells us in the Bible that let us make man in our image. And who is we talking about? We're talking about the spirit man. That's what we're talking about. So, these is foundations that, Christianity had infiltrated the Bible and used it for control. Because that's exactly why they took certain books out of the Bible, to break up the connections of the information on what will be going on in the past, the present, and the future. So as we come full circle, studying our Quran, our prophet gave us these divine lessons to follow and to blow that holy breath on us and wake up that spirit man. So I end my statements right there, Sheikh. Thank you for the time. Islam and peace.
Islam, thank you for your contribution to our evening, Brother Centennial Jr. Well said. You made some salient points to the conversation, and it is so. It is so. Islam, floor is still open, Morris. I don't want to talk too much. It's time for you to exercise your 5 senses, speak on this, speak on what's on your heart as it relates to this. If you had some incident that happened this creation and you like to share it, it's all right. This is the time. Beginning of Christianity, chapter 40. It's Islam, but Deputy Sheikh, go ahead, brother.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wali Emmanuel, Deputy Sheikh Mekam Bay. Ever rise and giving perfect praise to Allah, Mother, Father, God of the universe, and honoring all true and divine prophets, namely Yashua, Muhammed, Buddha, Confucius, to illustrious Hebrew prophet in these days and time, prophet, noble, true, all life. Taking time to extend those honors to our National Grand Chief Gerald Bratton Bay, and our executive officer, Baltimore, our children, families, guests on the call. Shout out to Marcus Messiah, God be the forerunner, to the ancient spirits that led us through these turbulent times. We all in love with Islam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom of the Holy Creation Day. Was a very good demonstration from the brothers so far. And as we know, it's two sides to man, physical and a spiritual side. And no thing is new under the sun. Rome was in charge of many lands in those days, and those lands were occupied by different national people, and those people was under the control of Rome. So we must know that some of our people also did accept this Christianity that was forced upon them, and they too enforce Roman law, which we still have today and are under. So the rich and the poor, we the poor, represented by the Lamb, and the rich, the rulers, the money guys. And they use the 10 Commandments to get away with their insidious crimes. And as we know, there's truth and falsehood in this world. And anything that can be used to do good can be used to do the opposite. So the 10 Commandments, they did not have anything to do with that. They could use their laws to get around that. But we, the poor, we were afflicted by these laws, rules. So Allah never said until the people does need one to show them a way to get out of the calamity that is present. So he sent us our prophet, Muhammad. And this was to return their Christianity and their church back to them, as spoken in chapter 48. So even though this Roman story was from ancient, it still continues today and is affecting our people. So with the proof and the truth that our prophet brought, now we can defend ourselves in truth and apply our principles to live within, or better, without their system. I would ask everyone to return the floor to moderator. Divine Minister William Emmanuel.
Holy Emmanuel. Thank you, Brother Deputy Chief. It's true. 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments. A derivation of the 42 negative statements of Ma'at, or extrapolation, I should say, of 10 of the 42 negative affirmations of Ma'at. The negative affirmations were such that it was said at the time that the feather was on the scale to weigh the righteousness of your soul. There had to be statements made. I have not stolen. I have not committed murder. I have not committed adultery. I have not blah, blah, blah. And they took some of those and translated them into thou shalt not. So the 10 Commandments now say thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that. And the interesting part, and this is what the prophet is telling us, they use the 10 Commandments to control the people, that thou shalt not. But the rulers do everything they tell you, thou shalt not. You never hear the rulers saying, I shall not rob, I shall not commit, I shall not. They don't say that. They just say, thou shalt not. Anyway, the 10 Commandments, the prophet tells us, are used to maintain the poor, power and oppression. Islam, floor is open, Morse. Thank you, Brother Dennis.
Islam, Sheikh.
Islam, Brother Bay. Go ahead, Morse.
Giving thanks, Sheikh. It's Brother Cornelius Sanders Bay, calling out of Lake County, Florida Republic. Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. First and foremost, I'd like to rise to my highest heights and give all perfect praise to our Father God Allah, acknowledging our ancestors, known and unknown, recognizing and naming all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. I would like to remain standing and extend those honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bay, all national officials at headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, all sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheiks, and deputy sheikesses, and all of our friends, visitors, guests, students, members, children. I greet everyone with Islam. Beautiful demonstration and commentary on the chapter. One of my favorite chapters. It's always, these are all our favorite chapters in here, but this one right here, the beginning of Christianity. So on the first verse says the foundation of Christianity began in Rome. The Roman nations founded the first church. So growing up and not knowing what was going on or what even happened or what transpired is what, our people ended up being, Christians, or being in the church, which a true Christian is really just is truly just a Muslim, a true Christian. But we see that the foundation of it coming from Rome, and Rome being that of, Rome being the powerful influence at the time who was seeking to, enslave the natives of all the land. So they founded the first church And then our people, when the pale-skinned nations of Europe did come here and encountered our people, they came with Christianity. And after they enslaved us, or when they enslaved us, and then they put us in the church and gave us the church, in fact we know that the church was established. It tells you right there, the Roman nations founded the first church. So the first church was for them. So our ancestors wasn't in the church; they were in the temple. So just going on, verse 2, Jesus himself was of the true blood of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites and the inhabitants of Africa. And before even coming into the temple, I had already had the know-how, and I knew for some reason, but I was never told. But I knew that if there was this person that was called Jesus, and the great things that he did, and the miracles and the things that he can do, that he had to be an Asiatic, because a pale-skinned European couldn't do that. So moving on to verse 4, it said, then Europe had peace for a long time until Muhammad the first came upon the scene to fulfill the works of Jesus of Nazareth. As we know, reincarnation is a fact. It's not that someone is born or goes into someone else's body, but they extend the works of the person, that the divine person before them. So we have to realize that they say that they're waiting for, a lot of Christians say that they're waiting for Jesus to come back. They want to go be with Jesus. Well, Jesus did come back. In 1913, he gave his hollow, but our people couldn't hear it. And also we know from the great Quran, from our great Quran of Muhammad, I don't know the surah and the ayat, but it tells you that those people that can't hear, there's people that can't hear, their ears are blocked. Allah, the great God of the universe, has a veil over their heart and their mind. See, these are the three main points to allow you to be able to open up to accept the truth and know the truth, so you can be the truth. So if those and the people and many people don't even know that it is a law that is in control of that. So the more that we speak to people, we talk to people, we demonstrate to people, and they can hear us, they can listen, they can hear us, but they can't hear us. And that's due to, there's maybe some things they did in the past lifetime that they're still paying for. However, we have to be diligent, and still we have a job to do. And pardon self. And verse 8, the lamb is the poor people, the lion is the rulers and the rich, who love truth, peace, freedom, and justice. All men are one and equal to seek their own destiny. So see, but you see, it says it's through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice that all men are one and equal to seek their own destiny. So that means we all have a destiny. We all have our own destiny. Together we work together, we come together, we stay together, we pray together, but we have our own destiny. And to worship under our own vine and fig tree after the principles of the holy and divine laws of their forefathers. Once you know thyself and know thy Father God Allah, you will then become into knowing the principles of the holy divine laws of our forefathers. Because our forefathers and mothers they're still here with us. They're in us, around us, and with us. We just got to tap into it. At verse 9, all nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace. Peace. We're seeking peace. As well as the fallen sons and daughters of North America need to learn to love instead of hate. The opposite of peace is the opposite of peace is hate. But there is but one true and divine way that peace may be obtained in these days, and it is again through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. being taught universally to all nations and all lands. And our honorable prophet, Noble Jew Ali, was a universal prophet. He was here for all nations and all the lands. And with that, I put a period behind my conversation and commentary and yield the floor back to you, Divine Minister. Islam?
Islam, Brother Sanders, thank you for that hearty portion you just shared with us. And it's alhamdulillah, destiny. Yes, the Prophet tells us in the Habit and Torah that the destiny is not uncertain, meaning it's certain, nor is it unknown. So it's our destiny is known and certain, living according to these principles. Thank you, Brother Sanders. The floor is still open, my brothers and sisters, for your exercise. Islam, Brother Sheikh. Go ahead, more.
Islam, Brother Wimbush Bay.
Yeah, Brother Wimbush Bay. All right, brother. Thank you. Go ahead.
Islam, Detroit, Michigan. I'd like to give praises to the Most High, Allah, and honor to the beloved prophet, the last prophet in these days, Noble Jew Ali, and give honors to all the Moors here, there, and everywhere. Even like to give honors to the Europeans, because we're not here to teach hate. Truth don't need no support. Truth don't pass away. It's that art. This is art right here. Not speaking radical about any organization or group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. See, the highest principle known to man. See, some of the Europeans know the truth. That's why they're telling us the truth now. We pay attention to the bulletin board. I love this chapter too, because those with Jesus 2,000 years ago, those with Jesus today. With the prophet Noble Jew Ali, reincarnated. So as we look into this chapter and get our portion of understanding what message seems good to each other or ourselves, we know where it began at. Who crucified Jesus? Hold on, Wimbush Bay, you in the wrong crowd. You with the ones that crucified Jesus. Oh, I am? Yeah, you need to come on over here. Oh, you need to learn these lessons. I never knew that. Wow. I thought it was some other people that crucified Jesus. No, them were the ones up in the Christianity and in the church. They ain't going to tell you the truth. The same one who did the lynching during the time of our ancestors, our brothers and sisters. Same ones who doing it now on the streets. See, this right here is saving power, because it will save you, then you will know. And the more you get into it, the more you say, oh, wow, I got a lifetime of study to go. Say, man, this Christianity, I didn't know it was like that. But, hey, some people got the ear to hear, some don't. When your time is just your time. Some people, it ain't their time right now. You could talk to them and get blue and get upset, but it just ain't their time right now. Like you said, they got that veil. They can't hear, they can't see. You try to break it down, show them in the book. You try to show them in the Bible. You go everywhere, like the brother said. You go everywhere and try to show them, they still deny it. You get a headache. You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to save them because let them know the house is on fire. The truth is right here. But, I learned one thing is all is well. Keep it to yourself, and you just study. When they ready for it, they'll come to you because, oh, yeah, he know. He got something up under that fez. They say in school, put on your thinking cap. He knows something. But that's for those that love Jesus. You love Jesus, desire to know all his works. And here it is, right here. We got the 18 years. It's absent out the Holy Bible. It's right here. We got the questionnaire to help you out. To help you out, so you'll really know what occurred. And then you can say to yourself, okay, well, how long that was? Oh, that was about 2,000 years ago. So then they get more familiar with it, and then they say to themselves, like, okay, well, where y'all classes at? Oh, you can just go online, or better yet, you can listen to the conference call. You can be cleaning up your house, just sit there and listen. You get more familiar. You get in tune, you break the shyness out of you, and then you say to yourself, okay, that's all is well. Then, how can I remember? You look up on the website
and you get it. But we're not speaking in radical, but it just tells you right then and there. It was the Romans that crucified Jesus. You know, I never knew it when I was younger. I just thought, hey, going to church, I didn't know. They never said the Romans. They just said that soldiers crucified Jesus. I was like, wow, those some cruel soldiers. But when you get in the Moorish Science Temple American, you know it. Give honor to the prophet for bringing and letting us know who crucified Jesus. Like, oh, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Dang, I'm either I'm serving the wrong God or I'm serving the wrong people. I'm with the wrong people. But it's still good because you still can learn. I ain't going to say it's all bad. You still can learn because they give you some points and views and going through Bible school and all that. Okay, you get that part. But now, I got to return. I got to go back where I need to be at. You know what I'm saying? Because the prophet said, if I ain't going to teach you here, I'm going to teach you there. Now, you don't want to go to the Desmo Crypts, but if you do go to the Desmo Crypts, hey, you get your lessons there. And then you have to go back to the soul plane, then you go to the soul plane and get your lesson there. So it's best for you to get your lessons while you're on these plane things made manifest with thoughts. You can get yourself elevated. So I came to you, Moors, in love and peace, giving my portion of understanding. Chapter 46, the beginning of Christianity. And it's a good measure. It's a good measure right there, help those out, explain to the ones that what really happened, who really crucified Jesus according to their laws. It's like the laws, they keep changing now on us, Like, man, them some crazy laws. You got to take the COVID test. If not, you're going to get something going to happen to you. All right, peace and love, Morris.
Peace and love. Thank you, Brother Winbush Bay, for your sharing, Mo. Appreciate love you much. And you touched upon something that Brother Sanders Bay touched upon, the Su Moon, Book Moon, U Moon, that is deaf, dumb, and blind. They travel, but they hear not. And I do believe that's in Surah 2. I don't know the ayat, but I'm sure it's in Surah 2, Brother Sanders Bay. Thank you, Brother Winbush Bay, for bringing those particular instances to Islam. Floor is open, Morris. Anyone wishing at this time? Islam.
Islam, Divine Ministers, Brother Cook Bay, Deputy Sheikh.
Go ahead.
Islam, family. First on the rise, this is Brother Cook Bay, Deputy Sheikh of Florida Republic. First on the rise to give all perfect praise to Allah, the Mother, Father, God of the universe. With all honors to all true and divine prophets, peace and blessings be upon them. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. Allah's prophet in these days and times, Honorable Prophet Noble Jew Ali in the first, second, and third form. I'd also extend those honors to the Harbinger, Marcus Josiah Garvey. Also like to continue rising and extend those honors to our National Grand Sheikh Joe Ratton Bay and all the adepts, and sheiks and sheikesses, National Headquarters, Maryland Republic, all deputy sheiks and sheikesses, all children on the call, guests, all spectators. This is your brother, my brother, the Cook Bay Colony, Florida Republic. I want to first, to exercise my five senses, I want to first give honor to all the brothers who demonstrated and also the sister who read as well. This is a very powerful chapter, even for our people to know the missing links of our story, our story overall. Because all of us, being over here in North America, in the Americas, we've been put under that seal of the Roman seal of Christianity, which was a political power. But I also want to connect some dots just by giving thanks for the Moorish Science Temple number 13, because it's definitely the greatest mental institution to bring the pieces together for those who actually study. It's actually the missing piece, like a mirror being broken, and we bringing back those pieces to see that true reflections of ourselves. Just looking at verse 1, the foundation of Christianity began in Rome, and we connect that with, even in history, we see that the Council of Nicaea 325, and with Constantine. And I'm going to start with the Moorish Leader's Historical Message to America by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. When he breaks down, it says Buddhism had its Ahsoka, Judaism its Yashua. Christianity is Constantine. So we'll see that within that same Council of Nicaea, 325, it was Constantine who was actually the correlator or the general of this Christian manifestation of Christianity, as we say, which was used as a political power or strategy to overcome the natives and the indigenous worldwide, to take them away from their true self and their God, their religion, and nationality. And we see Yashua himself, he was of the true blood of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites, inhabitants of Africa. You know, we see that Christianity was formed after he passed form at that time, that they came together and correlated this political system to ravage the world entirely, to put a blindfold over our eyes internationally. Now, he was seeking to redeem his people in those days from the pressure of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, and Rome crucified him according to their law. Now, we look up the word crucifixion or crucify. You know, we have, it's a verb, past tense, crucified, put someone to death by nailing or binding them to a cross, especially as an ancient punishment. Then we have another definition, to criticize someone severely and unrelentingly. The prophet also showed us in the 101s for the Moorish children, which we are children. He says, starting from key 77, when was this time declared out? When he nailed justice on the cross. What are the last words justice uttered? It is finished. What did he have reference to? He had reference to the end of Satan. Did justice say that he will return to conquer him? Yes. What is the name of the person into whom justice was first reincarnated? And we have to answer Prophet Muhammad the Conqueror. Now, we also see, we growing up in Christianity, many of us read the Bible, but we still didn't understand it due to the fact of how it was put forward to us. We see that Jesus himself spoke about it in John chapter 16 about the Comforter, who was to come again to bring forth his truths and to fulfill his works. And I'm going now to the Holy Koran of Mecca, Surah 61, Ayat 6, and it quotes, "And remember, just as the son of Mary said, O children of Israel, I am the messenger of Allah, sent to you, confirming the law which came before me, and giving glad tidings of a messenger to come after me, whose name shall be Ahmad. But when he came to them with clear signs, they said, this is evident sorcery." Now we see that Ahmad is a variant or a transliteration of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. It means highly praised, one who constantly thanks God. He basically unified Arabia into a single religious politic under Islam, the restorer of the unaltered original one God monotheistic faith of Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and other divine prophets. Now, just by reading the resurrection book, misquoting, got even us growing up, when they spoke about the crucifixion, they said that he died on the cross, but there was no death certificate or a medical examiner to confirm. So I'm going to read from the resurrection book, page 2. He says he went through the ordeal of death. So he was beaten, bashed, laughed upon, dealt with in all type of ignorant ways just for bringing us the truth or trying to bring us the truth to ourselves at that time, and even it's going on in the now. But when we look at what he had to go through, and we see it's a continuation, what went on in Rome actually continued over here through the Crusades. For many of the descendants of many of the Muslim visitors of North America, as they would say, are members of many of our present-day so-called Indian tribes. And some of them tribes are the Apaches, Anasazi, Arawak, Araucana, the so-called black Indians of the Schuylkill River area in New York, the Cherokees, Creeks, the Macas, the Mahagans, the Mohonets, the Nanticokes, the Seminoles, the Zulus, and the Zuni. And the whole purpose was to ensure that that light that they tried to dim us from, that we would no longer rise up to our full God self, as it would say. So the colonization of the Americas by the Spanish was an extension of the Reconquista of the Iberian Peninsula. The Spanish settlers, they sailed the seas conquering of Spain to destroy the power of Islam. And they recognized the influence of Islam wherever they journeyed, and did everything in their power to convert the people to Catholicism, which is, here in the West, the Catholicism is like the head church. That's the head Christian church. Yeah, Cortez, the conqueror of Mexico, as they would say, he arrived in the Yucatan, named the area El Cairo, which is the capital, Egypt. And we coming through this powerful, mental institution, know that there was two Egypts, one over here in the West and one in the East. So their colonization continued to ensure that we never was to rise up or awaken. And we see that the head of Satan was taken off coming through key 83 in the 101s once again. When was the head of Satan taken off? 1453 Byzantine. By whom? By Muhammad. By Muhammad II. He was the one that cut off the head of Satan to prevent it from conquering now the whole world, which was their conquest, to conquer the whole world into full Christianity under that political power, to continue devastating the people and ravishing them, that we will no longer be able to rise up and to seek and to see our true selves and to rise up as the true mothers and fathers of civilization. Now we know that Yashua, he wasn't a simple individual. As we read through the Book of Secrets, the Circle 7, he went through many schools, and just by quoting, he said he'd go through any school to learn as much as any man would learn, so he can go through the ordeal and know what it is that we would have to go through to manifest to us that we can do the same as well. He was a master in the Vedas. If we look in the Vedas and we see that he wasn't just, as they teach us in Christianity and churches, he wasn't just a punk, as you would say. He wasn't a softy. He was a warrior. He knew the power of breath. He knew how to slow down his heart. He knew the powers of the Brahmins, the Vedas. He was skilled in grammar. He was skilled in, the herbs, more herbs. Just to, hail up my brother Shikaze Orambe. He was skilled in many different skills of the natural earth remedies that he went through himself and showed unto us, but we ignored it. When he came amongst us at those times as well, we ignored it. We thought it was, our people were superstitious. We thought it was some sorcery. He's showing us natural healing remedies, natural things to uplift us, mental, physical, and spiritual. But we did not take heed. Many of us who did take heed were the ones who became what? The avatars, or part of the white brotherhood, as they would say, who were the ones who were to uplift humanity, past, present, and future. So it's a very in-depth chapter, and there's so much more to speak of, but, he spoke of and brought forward to us the principles at that time. And then you had the prophet, who was the reincarnation of Jesus. The same thing that Jesus 2,000 years went through, the prophet came through again, showing us things. And he was crucified, severely and unrelentlessly through bad talk, from the bishops and the pastors of the church who was fighting against him in those times, saying, Islam, and they thought it was something new. But as he quoted, our people ran away from Islam because we thought it was something new, but it was something of old, but it was taken from us. Even during this time of so-called Black History Month, They showing the Roots movie, the Roots trilogy. If you look into it deeply, you will see that our religion was Islam. Islam was just peace. But they tried and did so much to beat it out of us, take away our name, our character, our principles, to ensure that we didn't know or remember who we were, and ensure that if we had any seeds, the seeds will have no acknowledgement of their history, past, present, or future, and will take on that same Christian ordeal, which is a political power. But that's what it started off as, a political power to overcome and destroy, pillage, war booty. So from the now and the past, it all connects as one. And we can go more in depth, but that's just my exercise, my 5 senses with connecting the dots. And I'm trusting that it can give a more insight to our brothers and sisters, because we all went through it. We all been there. Some of us are still there and still trying to swim out of the shadows, or try to gasp for that air from being drowned from the false ideologies and dogma that was placed upon us. And with that, due to the fact, I don't want to take over the floor, but to give thanks to the brothers and sisters is definitely a recharge. I give thanks for being here. I give thanks for the elders to continue holding the torch for us and opening our minds from out of this death state, this amnesia, and giving thanks to the Prophet, giving thanks to Allah for the Prophet, Noble Ali, first, second, and third form, to continue these manifestations to arise us and to continue studying and connect these dots and using all holy books. They all connect once you take out the dogma and put the pieces together. And with that, I'm going to say love and light. I'll yield the floor to the mighty moderator, the divine minister, giving thanks for your energy, Islam and light.
Islam, and we return that love and light to you 1,000-fold, giving thanks for your sharing more. You hit many points. If anyone was taking notes, they have a lot to feed off of just what you shared. Thank you much. It's almost time for us to close out. I want to make sure the Grand Sheik is not on the line, so I always have time for him. We always have time for him. And if he is, he will come forward in a minute. I open the floor to one more. Anyone else who wishes to exercise your 5 senses? We have enough time for one more to exercise. Islam, Brother Deputy Sheik. Go ahead.
I'll be short. Islam ever rising in my perfect praise to Allah, and the Father God of the universe, and all true and divine prophets, and our immaculate prophet in these days, and time prophet Noble Allah, bro. Honor and all, most on the call and all over the world, and our national Grand Sheik and all officials in Baltimore, Islam. Yeah, something just came to mind about some of the stuff that Christianity have taught us and our prophet has stepped on. I remember when we used to go to church as children, one of the songs they used to teach us was the color song. Yes, Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world, red and yellow, black and white. All are precious in His sight. But the only two ones that is, I guess, holding on to that color scheme is the black and white. Now, we already know that, I guess, Moorish Americans know that black and white are status and not hues. Islam, turn the floor to the moderator. Prophet has stepped on their plans. Islam.
Islam, Brother Deputy Sheik. Shukran. Thank you more for that sharing. Giving thanks and praises. I said one more, but we still have time to get one more. Hey, we haven't had a sister. Islam, more. Go ahead. Is that Sheik Young Bay?
Islam. This is Brother Curtis Douglas, New York Republic.
Hey, Brother Curtis Douglas. Time. Haven't heard from you more. It's yours. Go ahead.
Islam. I'd like to give rise to my higher heights, acknowledge all our ancient ancestors, both known and unknown, all sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, all members, guests on this call, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, Noble Drew Ali in the first, second, and third form, and our National Grand Sheikh, by with Temple number 13, our dear brother, Joel Bratton Bay, Islam. Just real quick and real brief. What came to mind was the beginning of Christianity. Anything that has a beginning has an end. And it brought me to the 101s where question number 17 asks, what is our religion? Islamism. Question number 18 asks, is that a new or is that an old-time religion? And the answer, of course, is it's an old-time religion. So what I glean from that is Islamism being representative of peace within man, which is one of the 5 divine principles that has no beginning and has no end, which comes from the heart, the nearest place to meet Allah, is what all Muslims, us being ancient beings, practice. And tying back to, what some of the commenters said earlier, the 2 nations on the planet, of course, being Europeans as well as Asiatics, Muslims, we know that the Europeans came from us, which is basically the recessive version of us. They have earthly salvation, whereas as Moors, Moorish Americans to be exact, descendants of Moroccans born in America, we have both an earthly and a divine salvation. And that is one of the reasons why we need to link back to the divine and national movement, which we know is perpetual, tying back to the first 7 articles of the Constitution. The reason why it's perpetual, linking back to that union, going back to the grip, both East and West, coming back together, because like National Grand Sheikh would say, we fell here in the West, we became niggers in the West, given into our lower self, which is pretty much manifesting those 5 names for the lower self. So with that being said, I know that also in this beautiful read, it mentioned that everyone is looking for peace, but peace will not be found until love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is taught to all nations. So what Noble Drew Ali did, literally, he manifests that which always manifests in the ancient prophets, which is manifesting at a time in which any people that is divine went away from those lofty principles. And even as the divine minister was speaking about the commandments, linking back to the 42 laws of Ma'at, we also know that Yashua, who they call Jesus, when he was asked about the commandment, he said he basically came to fulfill the law. And he broke down the 10 commandments in very simply. He said, if you honor your mother and father, which is the first, love your neighbor as yourself, love God above all, and love your neighbor as yourself, the first and second. He said, if you link to those 2, then the others are irrelevant. You're not going to commit adultery. You're not going to do any of those stuff, because ultimately, it goes back to that golden rule: love your neighbor as yourself. What you don't want for somebody else, do not do it to someone else. So with that being said, beautiful demonstration for everyone else prior to me. I really appreciate this call and the insight that was dropped. So yield the floor back to the moderator. Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Douglas, thank you. That was quite a finishing touch for our conversation this evening. Again, you have added to all the points that brothers and sisters can, if they're taking notes, touch back upon and develop further thought. So thank you much for that. And you did bring to mind that I need to ask just before we close, is there anyone who has joined us who has not checked in, who would like to make their presence known? Now is a good moment to do so. If you joined the call while we're in process and you wish to make your presence known, star, mute your phone, tell us who you are and from where you're calling. Islam? And we welcome each of you. All praises due. And we will continue with our closing at this particular point. I want to thank you each for sharing with us. Again, we've had a very good conversation on this one chapter, and we touched upon a couple of times in the in our conversation, chapter 48, which will be on in a couple of weeks as we close out our read for this cycle of time. So we will talk more on that. But for today, we thank each of you for your sharing. We hope that each of you have received something or will receive something that will benefit you, some benefit from our conversation this evening. yes, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be universally taught, but more importantly, it must be universally lived by each of us. And again, remember that to live love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, we have to have principles of activation. Love is a very high word. All these are very high words. But how do we manifest love? How do we manifest truth? How do we manifest peace? How do we manifest freedom? And how do we manifest justice? Manifest means make it seen and felt in our communities, make it seen and felt in our homes. So it's not just speaking these words, but it's figuring ways to manifest it. So this is why when you hear us say the word beloved, it's just a way of manifesting love between ourselves. So all praises due. We are grateful to Allah for bringing us a prophet to redeem us from our ignorance, because that's where I was. I know I was in ignorance, and we can see it with our people. If you enjoyed our conversation, then we'll have it on our website, www.MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com, within a period of time. You can go there and find all of our public calls, our town hall call, our Holy Night call, our Sunday school call, SubhanAllah, all are archived on our website, so you can go back over time and listen to the various calls. This one will come up soon as well on the website. You can go back and listen to it as well. Feel free to join us come Sunday. This is our next call is Sunday, 11 a.m. for our Sunday school conference call. Our Sunday school conference call is in three parts really. We open up and read our 101 questions, and then we have our children's Sunday school, and then we have our adult Sunday school segment with whatever time the children leave us. So if you come in on Sunday, if you just sit and listen, the children themselves will inspire you. We had two of our students online to introduce themselves this evening. So please join us Sunday, 11 a.m. Sunday at 7:30 p.m. These are Eastern times, 11 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have our town hall call. Our Moorish town hall call fields questions on what we call the policy of freedom. The policy of freedom encompasses 4 proclamations of emancipation, written by, authored by, and sponsored by President Abraham Lincoln, in conjunction with the original 13th Amendment, which contains 20 sections. And we field questions on the policy of freedom, and we discuss the issues and relative subject matters. So that's 7:30 p.m. on Sunday. All of our public conference calls are on this one number, 443-961-4434. So feel free to join us every Sunday, 11 a.m., every Sunday, 7:30 p.m., and every Friday, 8 p.m. on this call for our Holy Night call. We are in the middle. On behalf of our Sisters Auxiliary, just remind our brothers and sisters that the Sisters Auxiliary is in the middle of a fundraising demonstration. The fundraising by way of some pens, some light pens, some blue ink writing pens they have available for $1. Some tags, which I relate to key fobs for tags, which are $3, and magnets, which are $5. They've come up with some very unique designs relating to our troops, our status, and they're there to build money for the necessity fund. We know our people are in great need. So please, brothers and sisters, as you can, go to the website, and you can see pictures of the pens, the tags, and the magnets. And then you can send an email to Sister Auxiliary 13, Sister Auxiliary 13, that's the number 13 at gmail.com. Send that in for the sisters, and in the subject title, let them know what you want: tags, pens, magnets, and they will get that out to you. Give them thanks and praises at this time. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Jew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from sinful ways by order of prophet Noble Jew Ali. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Allah, for sending us a redeemer. And I really might say, well, we can never return to the state that he found us. Because once you know your nationality, you can't be a Negro no matter what you do. Anyway, at this time, let us affirm ourselves to ourselves. Pray Allah keep us from betraying and being betrayed, misleading and being misled, deceiving and being deceived. And to do that, we remind ourselves to the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation. Please, star, mute your phone as we participate. First person for Islam. We are the children of one Father, provided for by His Spirit.
We are the children of one Father, provided for by His care.
And the breast of one mother has given us suck.
In the breast of one mother,
that has given us suck.
Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite us with our brothers and sisters.
Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite us with our brothers and sisters.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
And when we separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth us to love and unity.
And when we separate in the world, remember the relation that binds us to love and unity.
Prefer not before our own blood.
Prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
And his care be continued to us all.
And his care be continued to us all.
Our love for each other.
And our love for each other.
In Islam, Moors, love is the key. Love Allah, love yourself, love one another. And we can do nothing but rise above. At this time, all who are able, please stand erect, facing the east, heels together, toes separated at a 45-degree angle, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular thereto, with two fingers erected together. On the right hand, 5 fingers erected together. American prayer. Islam is Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Jew Ali. Ameen. Islam, peace. Islam, wars. I love you all. Go in peace until next Friday or Sunday. Shabbat shalom. Love, love, love. Most High God to protect. Shabbat shalom.